If you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, full service, or just individual parts, for the best automotive experience in South Georgia, come see us at Valdosta Toyota or visit us online at valdostatoyota.com. Now check out this week's Coach's Corner.
Cole Parker here with In the Game Sports Network, sitting down with the head coach of the state champion Tift County Blue Devils basketball team, Coach Eric Holland. Coach, thank you for being here with us today.
Cole, thanks for having me.
So, walk me through it. I know you've probably heard this question 100 times now, but how does it feel to be a state champion once again?
Well, it's an unbelievable feeling. You really reflect back and you start to look at all the sacrifice that you had to make to win it. So it's real rewarding when you know you put in a lot of time, the kids put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of attitude, a lot of praying, a lot of fussing back and forth. Just, and then time away from, family, wife and kids, things like that. So when you really look back at it and you look at all the mountains you had to climb to get to that particular point in the season, it's just rewarding, it's real gratifying.
And so you mentioned the amount of time put in, the amount of effort, those mountains to climb. Take me through that entire journey from the preseason, the off-season, even before that, and then really the development of this team leading up to that state championship.
Well, we don't necessarily have an off season here at Tift County. We have what we call our own season, and all season is ongoing. Basketball is a seasonal sport, but our program is a year-long sport. So when we lost in the Sweet 16, we gave them they had 2 weeks on to do whatever they felt they needed to do on that particular 2-week time frame. And after that, we got back in the gym, CrossFit, weight room. And we immediately started to work for something that we all felt like we deserved, and that was a state championship. So kids were hurt. We lost at the buzzer. Obviously, everybody know that. Milson hit a shot to kind of end our career, and we didn't want that feeling again. So we made a commitment to each other. We came in, we did this activity called "We Are on a Journey." This is what we take and what we call our ABCs, and we created 26 things starting from A going all the way down to Z that we felt like was very important, that we liked last year, that we need to have this year to win it. So the kids and the coaches all created it, and out of 20 out of the 26 things that we created, we was all 100% Johnny on the spot on. So we're very consistent in terms of our assessment on what we needed to do to win this year. And once the kids created that, there was complete buy-in. It kind of gave us a guideline or a map or things we needed to focus on in order to win a state championship. So then we went through the summer. We do, more of our stuff is in the gym, 2 days. We don't really like to get out to a lot of team camps. We focus more on dribbling, passing, shooting, and we focus more on effort and attitude during the summer. And then fall came in, we start two-on-ones and get all that stuff rock and roll. And then when the season hit, we practice every morning at 6:30 and every afternoon at 5:30. So we just stayed with our plan and stuck to it, and felt like we can beat anybody if we do those 26 things we identified, and we established a thing called our basketball credit report to hold ourselves accountable, head coaches all the way down to the managers. And we just followed suit and stuck to it, and that's what it led us to.
And so the culture around Tift County basketball seems unmistakable. And how have you gone about building that culture, that winning culture, really, since you've been here, and especially in this most recent season?
Well, it really started off the court. We do this thing called get off the court, get in the church. And that's the first thing we want to do is we talk about our priorities, which is God first, family second, you third. Talking about is one thing, and then actually doing it is another. So we made sure that our kids understood or understand the importance of our priorities. So we really spend a lot of time with just going to church and eating and fellowshipping and trying to get that peace under control. So we really focus on our priorities, God first, family second, you third, and kind of follow suit to get where we need to go.
And that mentality clearly shows translating to the court as well, and probably most apparently in your senior class. And so you've been with those guys for a very long time now, but what is it about that group of seniors that makes them special or unique?
Well, when I came here in 2009, I think those kids was all 7th graders, 6th graders, can't really remember, but I remember driving down Sugar Street and watching this small kid with big shoes on, big ears, dribbling 2 basketballs. And little did I know this kid was Michael Johnson until I went over to a middle school game and saw him and talked with him. And I knew then, I told that group, I said, hey, y'all gonna win at least 1 or 2 state championships before y'all graduated. And they believed that. They all have what we call a PhD, passion, hard work, determination. Those 3 guys, along with Cameron Collins and Jay Johnson, our other 2 seniors, they all body of work speaks on their passion, their hard work, determination. So we was able to, we talked about winning culture, winning environment, and we just basically changed everything in terms of everything being first class, from our uniforms to the way we travel to the way we dress. We do this thing called dress the way you want to be. Address and dress for success. So you ever see us come in, we're gonna probably be sweater vest, bow ties, leather vest. We're gonna look the part, we're gonna think the part, we're gonna play the part. If you go in our locker room, it's all first class. Shower curtains, name on the locker, spotless, clean. If you go in the equipment room, it's gonna all be organized. Everything about our program is gonna be first class. It's gonna have a culture of winning. You're gonna say winners live here. You can't say that you got a winning culture, winning program, the kid can't flush the toilet, they can't keep their locker clean, we can't have the equipment room organized, all that thing, they show up to the gym, they look dysfunctional, or they don't look organized, or they don't look unique. I don't think you can win without those things, so that's a big part of our program. It's creating that winning attitude, that winning culture, and everything about us equals winner. When you see us, you say, oh, those guys are winners.
And with all the talent that has come through this school, including those 3 seniors that are going on to play at the next level, it's important to instill that in them at this age, and so hoping that carries on to the next level, right? And how have you seen that develop in you as a coach, and how you develop their mentality throughout their career with the vast number of talented players that have come through your program?
The first thing you got to do as a high school coach is you got to understand college culture. You got to build a relationship with college coaches, know exactly what they're looking for, and you got to make sure you prepare your kids to take that next step forward. And you do it by, number one, focus on academics, and that's the first thing we focus on: academics, and creating a well-rounded athlete, not just a basketball player. But our kids have to do so many hours of community service. They have to give back to the community. They have to be highly, highly visible in terms of who they are. They have to be very transparent in terms of giving back and helping and working with others. I think that's super important with developing an athlete, not just say, oh, you all basketball and that's all you need to be. And they take an ownership to that. They attend, community events, Special Olympics, ML King, all that stuff is important.
And so, fortunately for you, you've been very successful in all those different realms, whether it be developing talent to the next level, helping kids out in the academic sense as well, but on the court as well, of course. And so as a state champion in the 2017 season, 2016, 2017, is there something that sticks out to you as your favorite memory?
Several. The first thing I just really remember is when we lost in the Sweet 16, and I walked into the locker room, every kid in there was crying. There was not a dry eye in that locker room, and I saw their pain, I felt their pain, and I knew then that was a moment that I can use to motivate them for next year. And the second thing I remember, we had this conversation in one of my pregame speeches, and I told them, I said, guys, listen, when you get to the state tournament, there's going to be 2 types of locker rooms. There's going to be a happy locker room, and there's going to be a sad locker room. The beautiful thing about what I just said is you got the opportunity in the next 32 minutes to dictate the type of locker room you want to have. And just remember that moment last year when that shot went through the net and we lost to Milton, how you felt. Use that moment to motivate and push you through this opportunity. And of course, we used that all throughout. The next moment was, in my opinion, probably a blessing in disguise. We was tied. We was the 1 seed. Newton was the 1 seed. And my AD and I, we met in Macon, and we met them halfway, and we flipped the coin, and they wanted the coin toss. My kids told me, they said, Coach, pick tails. Tails never fail, because obviously I didn't do that. I picked heads, and of course it was tails, and I know my kids told me what they wanted to pick. But when we lost the toss, I shook the coach's hand. I told my AD, we're gonna beat them. And he looked at me, he was like, Coach, they good, they number 4 in the country, and da-da-da-da-da. He said, what made you say that? I said, because you remember in 2015, they came to our gym and beat us, sent us packing, we was 26-1. He said, yeah. I said, we're gonna return the favor.
Well, Coach, we love what you're doing here at Tift County. Clearly, many state championships on your resume, but more importantly, developing young boys into young men that are going to go on and not only play at the next level, but succeed at the next level. So we certainly appreciate everything you're doing for Tift County and the surrounding community here in Tifton, and we look forward to seeing what you have in store for us in the future.
Absolutely, Cole. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.